I am not too happy because someone interrupted my oracle video. So this is a continuation of the full moon oracle video for March 28th. This is a continuation. So you want to check out the other part first because this is a continuation. All right. I hate when that happens. So here we go. The enemy is attacking in whichever way he can because he does not want you to hear the message. But I am going to not record that video again. So please go if the message is for you and listen to part 1. I'm also going to be doing a tarot video. So I guess we're going to have 3 parts for today. We're going to have, oh, there goes one. It just like flew out. Surrender. You know, I was saying, sorry. So I said there was going to be part 1, part 2. So now we're going to have part 1 oracle, part 2 oracle, and then part 3 is going to be the actual tarot reading. So I apologize. The enemy wants to attack because there is obviously some information he hears that he does not want you to move on from. He does not want you to release. He does not want you to spiritually ascend. He does not want you to reach where God wants you to be. So in my eyes, I said, you know what? I'm not going to re-record. Whatever is meant for someone to hear, they're going to hear it. So I'm going to give some, oh, we got 3 cards. Bottom of the deck is trust. So it's saying this, I have so many interruptions. I'm sorry, I'm just a little sidetracked because everyone is trying to stop this message from happening. I'm going to keep going even though. All right, so it's saying here to trust. It's at the bottom of the deck. I'm not going to pull that card, but it is at the bottom of the deck. So it's saying for you to trust the situation. You know, don't try to control things. Let things happen. Let the divine order happen. Things will happen in its place. So here we got surrender came out first. So whatever it is that's hindering you, it's saying for you to pray to God to release and to surrender. And he will help you make a resolution. You will come to a conclusion, which actually has so much to do with part 1 of this video. And I'm very upset that I couldn't get it all together. I don't know how to combine videos. So if someone knows how to combine videos or to add to a video, please let me know. I'm actually working off my cell phone. This is my first time posting on YouTube, so work with me. So here we go. We got surrender. So in order for you to let go of this burden, you have to release it to God. You have to say, God, I no longer want to carry these burdens of the past. Please help me to heal. Tell me how I can release them. So like all these cards, it's crazy. You know what? Since we're doing part 2, I'm going to just show you what other cards were in play before. So the one card was communication, and at the bottom of that deck, please go back. Please listen to part 1. It's saying at the bottom of the deck was action. It's telling you there's someone you need to talk to, someone you need to take action and come towards to in order to release the past, in order to release karmic situations, karmic partners. You know, it's time to release them. It's time to speak about it. It's time to heal from it, and how to do it respectfully. Don't let your past hold you back. Conclusions aren't reached. So it's saying you have to surrender, and you have to, the word trust here, I saw the word trust somewhere. I think it was at the bottom of the other deck. You have to trust and you have to believe that whatever the situation that's burdening you so bad, has been so toxic in your life, where you feel like you just can't get rid of whatever this situation is, you can't get out of your head, you can't move forward, it blocked you in many areas of your life. It's saying there is a conclusion, there is a way to get out of this. You will, and you will find a release, but you need to pray, you need to communicate respectfully. You have to stop fearing running from this person. Tell this person how you feel, and you need to surrender it. Most importantly, surrender the situation to God, so that when you do communicate with this person, you don't come from a place of hate and hurt. And it's saying the next thing here says hunger. You got hunger. I'm not sure what this means, but there is a big moon in the back, and it is the full moon. So Maybe speak your truth. I don't know. We'll find out. And then the last one is peace. So I could tell you right off the bat. Once you let this person know how you feel, and you talk to them and you communicate with them and respectfully tell them, why you're hurting, why you hurt them, why they hurt you, and forgive one another, you will be free. You're going to feel free to move on with your life. That person will move on with their life, and you'll be able to have peace in your life because you're no longer spending all your days thinking about how this person hurt you and how deeply attached you were and how toxic the situation was, but you still love this person so much. But it's time now to release. They're saying, God is saying, no more holding on. Your karmic cycle is closing, or it has already closed. It's time to communicate. It's time to heal. It's time to leave the past in the past. So let's see what these mean. Let me find the book. What are we? Oh, we're not immunology anymore. Now we are doing. Oh, great! I lost the book. Oh, smart. Oh, here we go. Queen of the Moon Oracle. So we got number 26, 29, and we got 28. Number 10. 8 and 2 is 10. That's completion. 11 is a spiritual number. I forget what 7 is. Look it up. All right, so let's see. 26. We got a lot of 2s here. So 2 is about a partner, a relationship, something that you were, in a committed situation with. Something it's always about 2 people, 2 things coming together. So I feel like these 2s are here because it's telling you it's time to end with the 10, and it's 11 is spiritually elevate. When you put this to look, you know what? Since I'm already here, I'm gonna read hunger because it's already here. Okay, it says, feed the good and hope within you. There will always be a lean part of the cycle. Prosperity will come. Do not let your hunger blindly dictate your actions entirely. I recognize all that I hunger for. An old wise Cherokee of the First Nations of the U.S. is speaking to his grandsons about life. The young boy asks his grandfather, "It is said, grandfather, that gives darkness, despair and hate and jealousy and sorrow. The second wolf gives light and hope and helpfulness and kindness. Yet, grandfather, I feel them fighting within me. What can I do?" "My small son, these 2 wolves will always fight, and they will fight within each person. You are no different," said the grandfather. "But," said the boy, "grandfather, which wolf will win?" And the grandfather says, "Whichever wolf you feed." We must be careful about what we nourish and feed within us. If we give abundance to the aspects of the self that can harm others and ourselves, then we cannot truly thrive. Having no limitations upon these behaviors and patterns hurt us and stars the higher and finer parts of ourselves that will bring us more happiness. To ripple that happiness to others is part of why we are on the planet as humans. We must also recognize that in life, just because it is a cycle, there will always be leaner, less abundant, or less bright times. Yes, we have built our resilience, and self-trust for times like this, and we know we are both loved and protected. The cycle will soon turn to less shadow and more bounty. So I believe in one of the other cards it was saying about honoring your dark side, but not letting it run. Like, don't let it rule your don't let it rule you, because your dark side, you must appreciate it as much as your light side, because you going through the dark is what took you into your light. It helped you to awaken to your light. So what I think the wolf card is saying here also is, don't do things, don't rush things because you want them so bad. Do things for the right reason, like let things happen in divine time. Do things right, and don't feed the ego. That's what it is. Came to me. Don't feed your ego. Don't do things out of ego, because the ego is the devil. The devil is what is from your darker side, and the ego will come out. They're saying when you, okay, so part of this is that person that you're supposed to communicate with is don't speak from a place of ego. Always speak from a place of love. So it's saying that when you speak from a place of love, you feed that, nurture that part of you, which brings more of that to you. If you feed your ego, then you're going to bring more of the darker side to you. So whichever part you're going to win is going to be the part, that you feed the most. If you want to feed love and happiness and you want it to ripple onto other people, then you got to feed that part of yourself. Don't feed the part that's negative. Don't feed the part that makes you angry and bitter. You give that information to another person and feed that. Then that person, or I wouldn't say that person, you have caused your own blockages in life. You have fed the wrong side, and you're going to just get more of that back. You're not going to change it. You're just going to get more of that back by feeding that part of yourself. That's what I think that's saying. This surrender is kind of like obvious, but I'll read it anyway, what that means. Because it's obvious to me, but it may not be obvious to you. You know, I never got to really show you. So this is the hungry card. That's the wolf, and that's the moon. You know, it's saying don't. The moon is about things that are hidden, you know, and they may come to light. I don't know why the wolf is here, but it's just saying that whatever is going to come to light on this day or around this time, you know, don't let your ego take over. You know, approach it differently so you can have different results. Don't attack. Don't feed that side of yourself. If you want to heal and you want to elevate spiritually, don't feed that part of yourself. So surrender. Let's see. 26. What the heck? This book is not in order. It says 26, right? Am I reading the right book? Oh, I was on the right one. I don't know why I read it that way. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. Letting go of what you no longer need. So again, this has to do with the ego. I already read it. You know, sometimes walking away from a situation, you know, you don't have to always win. You know, that's the ego side talking. Sometimes you need to just walk away in order for you to, you know, in order for you to heal, you know, in order for you to, you know, not feel you're like in a toxic situation, or in order for you to not feel like you're bound to this person, because you feel like your ego always wants to prove yourself to this person. You feel like you always got to prove yourself, and you'll do everything and anything to make your point across. And sometimes it's feeding that ego. It's not coming from a place of love. So it's saying, you know, just because you surrender doesn't mean you've given up, and you know, you're not going to win. Because at the end of the day, the person who walks away from a bad situation and doesn't come like combative, and doesn't come at the other person with hateful words back because they're hurting, is the person who actually wins. That's the one that God sees. That's the one who's elevated. That's the one who's mature. That's the one who God says, okay, I like the way you handled that situation. Now I'm going to bless you. So stop being so stubborn about holding on to aspects and behaviors that don't align with who you are now. Stop struggling. So saying like, you definitely got to take a different approach to whatever this karmic situation, this person who made you. I don't think anyone makes you, but it brought out that real negative side of you, that dark side. And instead of speaking to this person in love and them speaking to you in love, you know, you just attacked, and maybe you verbally attacked them, you know, and said things that, you know, you can never take back, and words do hurt. You kind of went at them with a knife. It took me a long... Okay, so I'm going to keep reading. I let go. I surrender my struggle. I allow the universe to work through me. It took me a long time to realize that surrendering was a positive thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mean and giving up kind of surrender. I mean the okay, it's time for me to hand this over type of surrender. For those of us who are highly independent and used to doing things quite ably on our own, admitting we need assistance, or that we might indeed have to let something go for our betterment, can be challenging. So, you know, it's like, you know, this situation's got to come to end. You know it's karmic. You know it's toxic. You know it's an unhealthy attachment. You know, it's saying, you know, you got to be strong. You got to let God help you, the universe. Let spirit, let the angels, let the archangels come in and you know, ask for their help, because they're here to help you, but they don't intervene with your life unless you invite them in. So it's saying here, you know, you got to be strong. If you want this peace in your life, don't keep feeding the ego side of you. Don't keep attacking. Don't keep going back and forth with this person. Don't keep saying hurtful things to each other, because at the end of the day, no one wins. You don't win. You don't elevate. You just keep repeating the cycle with this person. And, you know, you just feed that dark side of you. And then you get more of that back, because that's all you're feeding. So if you change the way you talk to this person and then approach it in a different way, you'll probably come to a resolution. I think you will come to a resolution, because now you approached it from a healthy way. I know it's easier said than done, but that's just the way it is. So I'm going to read this again. For those of us who are highly independent and used to do things quite oddly on our own, admitting we need assistance or that we might indeed have to let something go for our betterment can be challenging. Letting go and surrendering admits or exposes a vulnerability or two. To surrender, we may need to show our underbelly. We may need to admit we got it wrong, made a mistake, grew a bad habit, surrounded ourselves with people that are not good for us. It can make us feel raw in our realization. So almost like, you know, you feel like you can't come at this in a different way, because it feel like it makes you vulnerable. You know, you feel like the other person wins, but at the end of the day, you win because of the way you came at it. You came at it respectfully in a loving manner, and that's what wins, not people throwing mean thoughts and comments back and forth to each other and hurting each other. No one wins in that situation. Remember, this moon phase is dark and beautiful. It casts a protective shadow that allows us to be as wide open as we need to be to do our work. So it's saying that this moon is going to bring energies out of us. Like, you're going to want to speak your truth. You're not going to be able to hold back. So it's saying is now is the time to take action. Don't hold anything back. Do not let fear of conflict or fear of losing this person who's no good for your life anyway. Don't let this stop you from you know, healing from it. You know, the more you run from it, the more you know, you're just going to keep repeating it. And if you don't repeat it with this person, you're going to repeat it with the next person, and it may even be worse because you're not healed from it. You never took the time to go towards this person and heal. It casts a protective shadow that allows us to be as wide open as we need to be to do our work. We reveal safely to only the divine and ourselves, we reveal safely to only the divine and ourselves, and then the light returns. Companion stone or metal, orange calcite. I guess it's telling you to help you surrender. Use orange calcite as a healing stone to help you to whatever chakra maybe you might need healing from. The orange calcite will help to heal that part of you. Just reading. To only the divine. So it's saying, you know, don't be afraid to be open. Like, say what you gotta say, get it off your chest, release it, release the past. And every card here has been talking about the past, releasing a person, releasing. Don't let the ego, you know, part of maybe your karmic cycle with this person is like that ego of yours, you know, you carry into relationships where you feel like you always gotta win. You know, you don't, winning is not the way you think it is winning. Hurting each other is not really winning. It's just, you just continue the cycle of hurting. So peace, I don't think I need to confirm that, but let's see what the book says. Everybody knows what peace is. Everybody wants peace. So basically, once you have this communication with this person, you surrender it, you approach it in a different manner, and you show love to this person. You don't fight with them. You will be able to heal, and you'll be to release. Look at this. I'm saying release, and look what card is at the bottom. I don't even know how I got to the top of this deck. It says it's time to release negativity. Everything I've been saying, all the cards around me are saying the same thing. Peace of mind is one of the greater gifts we can give ourselves. Refuse drama and do not freely engage with people who use drama as a weapon. So people they try to get control over you, and they take away your power by coming at you all the time to get you to react, you know. And by you saying, okay, I'm very spiritually aware, I'm very much awoken, I'm very much in control of myself and my feelings, no one's gonna ever get me to a point where I have to come out of my own character and become something I'm not, and constantly entertain disputes with a person who's very dramatic, who's just blocking your blessings, who's just keeping you stuck in a cycle, who just doesn't want you to win. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to move on. You have to respectfully put an end to the situation and then surrender it. So, refuse drama and do not freely engage with people who use drama as a weapon. Stop fighting. Allow yourself to rest for a while. When we let what we no longer need go, we make room for peace. I choose to create and hold peace. I allow the ripple out into the world. So if you find peace within yourself, you release peace to others. We are an anxious bunch as modern folk. We are constantly stimulated or not stimulated enough. We find it hard to sleep. Insomnia is at record levels in the Western world. And for some, we self-medicate with food, devices, drama, and work. We seek peace, but we don't know how to go about it particularly well. So it's saying that a lot of times, you stress yourself at night, you can't sleep, you're probably having anxiety, the things of the past and things are always in your head, and because of these things that you can't seem to release, you start self-medicating. That could be overeating, that could be over drinking, that could be drugs, that could be cigarettes, that could be sex, that could be anything. It could be all kinds of things. Overworking to block out whatever it is bothering you. Instead of facing it and healing from it, you block it by even overworking. Peace can begin with a series of decisions we make. For example, we can decide we can't control everything. Shock. The ancient Greek Stoics had a great strategy here, advising a split of your issues into I can control this and I have no control over this. Think about most pressing and worrying issues you have right now, or the situations that we are given the most sleepless nights. Then break them down into pieces and place them under the correct heading. Be honest and discerning. What you will find is that most of your situations and issues are under the second heading. The Stoics advise that the things listed there deserve more of your attention because they are actually out of your control. Wow, however, the things under I can control are important. I just got a prayer that came in my head. My dad used to actually tell me this. He used to go to his AAA meetings. He suffered from a lot of drug addiction. And he taught me a prayer. And the prayer was God grant me. I'm going to get this. God grant me. I just can't get it right now. To accept the things I cannot change and the wisdom to know the difference. God grant me the ability to accept the things that I cannot change and the wisdom to know the difference. Something like that. I don't know why that just came in my head. So I figure I got to tell you. So it says, wow, however, the things under I can control this are important and you must take action. These to the best of your ability. These are the best things you will influence and when you will glean the most change. While this seems a simple system, I promise you it will give you far less to worry about and instantly more peace. So it's saying like some things are out of your control, You can't change people. You can't change, things that are destined to happen. You just got to be willing to accept them and move on from them, learn from them. And have peace, You'll have peace if you don't try to fight something that you cannot fight. It's out of your control. Like people, you can't control people. You can't control their actions. The only thing you can do is remove yourself and find peace within yourself. We can be more focused and mindful about what we are doing in real time. We can place ourselves deliberately in sessions and quiet, beautiful and peaceful environments. We can learn what for us brings our body rest and peace. We can choose to not do the head miles of worry. Worry, after all, chewing gum for the mind, not really nutritious in any way, but something to do. When we let go of what we no longer really need, peace floods in, taking up this old space and healing it. Companion stone or metal, amethyst. Oh, it's amethyst. Amethyst, this purple one. It's saying, to help you heal this part, help you to find peace. That's the stone you want to work with, or stone crystal you want to work with. So it's basically about, remove yourself from drama situations in order to find peace. Don't keep entertaining them. Say what you have to say respectfully, and then learn to walk away, not to keep holding on to something that doesn't bring you peace. All right, what is the next one we have here? Okay, so we did this one, and it says trust at the bottom of the deck. So it's saying, I believe what it's saying is trust that the situation will be resolved. You will find peace. You'll be able to forgive. You're able to move on. You'll be able to surrender. And the situation will no longer have an effect on you. And I want to say this. I know it's nowhere in these cards, but I feel like you're coming to the end of a karmic cycle, and the door is getting ready to shut, and your new one's getting ready to open. But in order for that to happen, you have to be strong, show strength, show compassion, show love, show forgiveness. Even if the other person doesn't deserve it, you're doing it for you. Boy, am I speaking to myself. All right, so we have, I don't know why I felt called at this time, because I feel like everyone at this moment, if you're listening to my reading, you've been called to my page for a reason, that you are undergoing a spiritual awakening, and you're possibly just clearing out the last of your karma in order to break the cycle and to elevate in life and, achieve God's full purpose in your life. Yeah, I feel like that's what's happening now with the collective. So maybe you're wanting to be a light worker. You're wanting to help others heal, doctor, tarot reader, help people, maybe Reiki, anything that involves healing work, or even beauty. Beauty is part of healing, because when you take care of yourself, you're taking care of God's temple, and you're showing your being, when you take care of yourself, it's part of healing, and I feel when you help others to feel good about themselves and feel beauty, and it helps them to elevate their, it helps them to elevate their energy. It helps them to elevate their, if you're someone who always has a problem with, self-criticism, I have struggled from that, self-criticism, insecurities. Sometimes, beauty can actually help you feeling good, dressing nice, taking care of yourself. So, God, Lightworker Oracle book is what I'm using, by Alana Fairchild. This is the last card for this oracle. So again, guys, remember, number 1, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to get more of my readings. I'm new to YouTube, so you got to subscribe to me and hit like and the bell if you want to get notification every time I upload. It is free to like. The only thing is you have to create a login to YouTube if you want to like and like my page and subscribe. So that's free. You're not hitting subscription. You're not paying for anything, in case anybody worries about that. So here we go. Lightworker Oracle, Holy Spirit, Archangels, God, messages. What messages do you have for the collective? I feel like that wanted to come out, but it didn't. So what messages do you have? Oof. That better not be 5 cards. I really want to start part 2. So at the bottom of the deck, an invitation to connect. Here we go with that communication. It's time. It's time to connect. You could be connecting to source. You could be getting downloads from source. You could be, I don't know. It's so sunny. It's so like, I don't know. For me, this person is closing out a cycle, and now they have an open communication with source. This is not part of your reading, but I feel that's what that means. I've never even read that card, but so here, what does it say? The pink rose of Lady Nada. Nada. I don't know. It looks like she's going into a whole new world. It looks like she's walking through some kind of gates into her new life, and they're welcoming her. So let's see what this card is saying. Number 29. Let me see if I can put it here. Oh, look at that. I got me a newsstand. I was getting ready to order some. The pink rose of Lady Nada. Lady Nada in Spanish, that's like nothing. But in this card, I don't see that. It is something. It's a lot of something. It looks like a lot of abundance. It looks like peace and harmony and anything you could, like, it looks like a magical land. It looks like what you would go into when you reach heaven. So it says, you are in the midst of a heart healing. Okay. This is about heart healing. Probably peace. A healing of the fears and anxieties that have held you back from enjoying your full magnificence. Lady Nada is here with all her gentle power, washing you in a soft pink light. All anger, fear, sadness, bitterness, disappointment, and hurt are soothed and loved into peace. She brings you a sign of your future blossoming into deeper love. So basically, whatever the situation is, there is going to be a resolution. You know, it's going to happen. You have to trust that it will happen. And you have to change something of how you approach it. And this is going to help you to, you know, your fears is what holds you back. But, you know, now's the time you're going to be taking action. People are going to be talking. And now you're going to be able to release whatever the situation is. The anxieties and fears will leave with it. And you'll be able to enter the doors of new blessings now, because now you're not blocked. Now you can see clearly. Now you can think clearly. Now you can probably think. So the pink rose of Lady Nala is a spiritual gift from the higher guidance. Kind of like what I said before. I feel like now you have a direct connection with God, because now you're within balance with yourself. You have learned the lessons. You have closed a chapter of your life. You have healed. You have peace in your life. Now God is ready to say, now we can, what is it, my child, that you need? Let's keep reading. The pink rose of Lady Nala is a spiritual gift from higher guidance. It brings love, healing, strength, and compassion to your heart. You may be burnt out or feeling anger, fear, depression, chronic fatigue, or compromised wellness. We all going through that. Anger, fear, depression, chronic fatigue, or compromised wellness. Perhaps your heart is so tired that you struggle with compassion fatigue, finding it difficult to care, or even though your nature is one of the deep compassion and